Check 1 2, check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
Hot mic.
Hot mic, hot mic, hot mic, hot mic. I think we're live.
Are we? The little bell's ringing, Clark.
You gonna have coconut?
Coconuts.
Check 1 2 3 4 5
There
6
you go.
7
See.
8. The little bell's ringing.
How about feed? How about
You gonna
feedback?
have coconut?
Coconuts.
No? What are you? What are you, brainless? Don't you know where coconuts come from? Read your poem.
A poem is prayer.
Oh.
A call is prayer.
Alright, I'm gonna do get.
I know. Sign on. Wait. No. That's not how it goes. I'll read it later.
No, read it. Read the poem.
That's not how. That's not pulled open, dude.
Oh yeah, okay, sorry. Alright, our cold open. Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Buffalo gals, won't you come out tonight? And dance by the light of the moon. What do you wish for, Mary?
Oh, no, I'm not telling you, 'cause if I tell you, it won't come true.
Welcome. I'm gonna open with a Bruce Coburn song, slightly altered for the circumstances. Apologies to Bruce.
No regrets.
No regrets. Thanks for joining us for being stuck inside. I'm assuming you are staying inside tonight.
Oh, people are watching this without ice skating. Now you have to put the whole measure over again because I talked over you. Really?
I was up all night, not socializing, please. Trying to keep the blatant depression from crystallizing. And now the sun is lurking just behind the Scarborough horizon. You are here. You're not even here on the coldest night of the year. Actually, the weather's been pretty temperate today. I took in Young Street at a glance. I heard the punkers playing. I watched the bikers dance at social distance. And everybody wishing they could go to the south of France. Yeah, and you're not even here on the coldest night of the year. Hey, look at me now, the state I'm in.
Sorry.
It's taking me so long to catch on what's going on inside my skin. When two lovers really love, there's nothing there. But the suddenly compact universe of skin and breath and hair. I watched the all-night TV show in the all-night bar. Not really. I drove all the people home. I was the one wearing the mask. And now I'm sitting here all alone, sleepless and wondering where you are, and wishing you were here on the coldest night of the year. And now I'm sitting here alone and sleepless, wondering where you are, wishing you were here, all of you, on the coldest night of the year. To all of you joining us tonight on Stuck Inside New Year's Eve, thank you for staying inside, and I hope that this makes your holidays a little brighter. Eddie, you're not Eddie, but
No, but I got a little melancholic on my
Yeah.
run today.
yeah.
I really did. I just had a moment, and it's happened a lot this year, but today was like particularly hard
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Just remembering that I have not seen my family in over a year now, and I can't think about that too much, or I'll cry.
It's too early in the show to cry.
No, seriously, it's really in the night to cry. We're in the tears in her beer moment, so no, not gonna do. But yeah. Sorry, that's just.
No, it's okay, right? I mean, that's the things we're missing things. So this year was weird. I mean, it was like kind of 2 years.
Yeah, there's like that 3-month year that you have, 2.5 months.
Who remembers the half year at the beginning?
It was just January, February.
I mean,
So-
what I'm saying is like, and
It was
then
not-
there was like the 2 years after that.
Right. Or 10.
Wow.
Like a whole census cycle
A whole
happens.
it
We're
actually
redistricting
did.
a second time.
Well, right. I mean, we had that. So we had those first years, those first hours, and like, what were we doing? Like. So here's the deal. Like, I was on my way to see Drive-By Truckers.
That was literally your shutdown moment. A couple days before that, like Layla and I had seen Lauryn Hill play in Cincinnati, which
Right.
I mean, mother-daughter trip. It's
Right. It's very wonderful. Probably in retrospect, completely.
But we were in Portland too. Like,
Yeah.
didn't get COVID.
Yeah, we were in Portland.
That was like a week.
Portland had coronavirus before it was like everywhere. But yeah, so I mean, we did some things before.
Portland.
I don't know what all of you all did in those 3 months. If you have memories from those, 2 months really, 2.5 months, memories from those. But that really was still this year, which is weird.
It's like we've had like this 9-month gestation period, but it's going to carry on.
Right.
Like, I was ready for the coronavirus child to be born and develop and mature into a healthier thing, like the vaccinated version of itself. But no,
Well,
now we've got a few months on that one.
We do.
But some people have already been vaccinated that we love, and thank God.
Yes, so it's been awesome to start to see the texts come up on our family threads. The vaccination's already happening, so that gives a little bit of hope. So I know it was a hard year for everybody. Everybody lost things, and so
I lost my marbles.
I found it the other day there in the couch.
No, okay.
I was born to laugh. I learned to laugh through my tears, and I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear. Pour me a glass of wine, talk deep into the night. Who knows what this will bring? Intuition, deja vu, the Holy Ghost haunting you. Whatever you got, I don't mind. 'Cause I was born to laugh, learn to laugh through my tears, and I learn to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear. so long as I am able. There's nowhere I'd rather be. The secret fears are supernatural. Thank God for this new laughter. Thank God, joke's on me. 'Cause I was born to live. I learned to live through my tears, and I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear, and I was born to live. I learned to live through my tears, and I was born to love. I'm gonna learn to love without fear.
Thanks for letting me sing on that.
Let you.
I don't-
You're a free human person.
Yeah, well, I mean, but also
It's beautiful.
not when I stand it.
Well, you know what? We all. You better be your time. We all had to sing together this year. We had to find ways to sing together.
Yeah, we did.
Sometimes in unique ways. Sometimes in ways that we didn't expect to, have to do. But I don't know. My phone's buzzing. Who knows what that means?
Means you're a very important person.
So I think I want to do one of mine now, which I think is probably a fitting song for 2020.
It's also a huge hit.
Is it?
Well, I mean, it's working its way up the charts, and they also don't.
Yeah. So to all the UK folks, I don't want to be that guy who's all like dropping that,
But I will.
To all the
because
to all the UK folks that are watching in the morning, because I know right now it's like 5 in the morning for you folks. This is the pub song. I mean, it's a song of. It's been the song for the last 4 years, and I think it's been a theme for a lot of
well,
things.
but even before that, to be honest with you, think about it.
Absolutely,
It's an important song in the life of our family,
it
and
is.
friends, and now the world.
And I'm gonna shout out to the Reynolds fam, who first adopted it as their own around the campfire. Now it's across the pond. I think I'll go back to Indiana. Think I'll let my prescription slide. Think I'll find all my friends that I never called back. Let them know that I'm still alive. Then I'll go find those thin places used to go when I was young. In the woods behind my house, a guy can figure things out and be alive. That is enough. It's funny when you get older. Think about how you used to talk, but experience it breeds silence. Then you learn how to walk. Oh, I used to dream about traveling. Now I just dream about home. Something broke out there, but it could be repaired. Babe, we're lonely, but never alone. 'Cause sometimes you wanna say screw it, screw it, screw it, screw it. Sometimes just being unable to say it is what helps you get through it. Sometimes you get those grace, 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 grace from a likely source in an unlikely place. La da 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 da. La da 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 da.
You know the story.
Da 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 da.
Giacomo IPA.
This is a time when I want to invite everybody who's watching at home to virtually, I mean at home actually, yell it out, but you can virtually type it in the comments or whatever. 'Cause sometimes you want to say screw it, screw it, screw it, screw it. Sometimes you be unable to say it, so it helps you get through it. Sometimes grace from unlikely source, an unlikely place. Well, I remember my daddy, he told me something his old man told him. He said, Jesus Christ ain't no riddle, he's easy to understand. Son, don't make it harder than you need to. He only asks you life. Keep your hand on the plow, keep some sweat on your brow, and you find the burden is light. Yep. Sometimes you wanna say screw it, screw it, screw it, screw it. Sometimes just being unable to say it is what helps you get through it. Grace from unlikely source, unlikely place. From unlikely source, unlikely place. From unlikely source, in an unlikely place. Happy New Year.
I'm sorry that I threw that little. We were rehearsing last night, and I just gave my husband a glimpse into the web of my mind, which included that he often allowed us scatting
Giacomo Finane.
Yeah, and I like to do multiple things. There are just so many problems with what I'm about to say, including that I often refer to the song as Giacomo IPA. And I fail at every attempt to make ape.
I'm listening to you.
No, I said make ape. Yeah, make up a verse to that song.
Make ape.
But furthermore, that my mind now says when we say grace, 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 she's been dead 30 years from, and that is not at all how.
Yeah, I thought that when you said that last night, I thought that it was like
so
we were gonna go deep, but really it's just Aunt Bethany.
Yeah, no, see, I save all my deep, sad, bastard stuff when my kids are watching for my writing. So anyway, I'm supposed to talk about books this year. You're going to ask me
Of course I'm going to ask you about books this year. So tell me, you read a lot of books, and anyway.
Nothing like this year.
Nothing like this year, so you upped your game.
I did.
You upped your game.
I set a goal of 40, a modest goal, and I hit 100.
Modest is hottest.
110. On book reads, it should say about 107 now, but actually I have some that don't have ISBN numbers.
So, like, you've read more books than probably I read in my life. You probably read that in this year. So, tell me some highlights.
I was actually listening to a podcast on my sad run today, and I appreciated that the author, who's also a writer, my writing podcast, talked about like best journalistic stuff, best self-development. I hate self-help.
Sure, yeah, well, nobody needs.
So sad. Anyway, also novel. So, God, gosh, and 110 books, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I do want to throw it out there for Francesca Ramsey's Well, That Escalated Quickly.
Right, which you picked up like when we went on this like
Right before we went to Lake Michigan,
Yeah.
when we were social distancing.
we went on we did go on one social distancing outing this year
Yeah.
to like Michigan, and there was this little bookstore that you could go safely in,
And it was amazing. And also, Ijeoma Olaju's, So You Want to Talk About Race, which is bigger than that. Like, there's just some whole life lessons. And of course, James Baldwin. When are you not going to read James Baldwin again and again and again?
Yeah.
So I
It's a good
reread
year
The
to
Fire
reread.
next time.
Good year to reread James.
Humble Inquiry was good.
Okay.
So
Hope
those
y'all
are
are
just
taking
a few
notes.
lists. But and I don't want to go down too far down a rabbit hole, but I think you and I both really dug two things: the complete Fenelon
Yeah.
for deep spiritual stuff, but also Jerome Lanier's
Yeah.
10 arguments to delete your social
To delete
media.
your social media.
Say we hypocrites.
Even though you guys are watching this on social media.
But no, like just that idea
Yeah.
that if you feel bad about yourself and about what you're posting, and that things get decontextualized,
Right.
just watch it out.
Right.
But I also want to do a shout out because I discovered this year, the big lesson for me this year is how much I love staying home. Like, that's a little
Well,
scary.
Right.
And also, I really love all the online writing conferences, and my MFA program, Chatham, continues to support its group, and my MFA director
Yeah.
is also a really amazing poet, and she wrote Mostly Human.
Mostly human. Okay.
So no, it's amazing. It's all like, sorry, if we're gonna pitch anything, I'm gonna
Of course.
shout out for
yeah.
Sheila and her amazing
Sheila
book.
Sheila Squante. School
Yeah, Squalante. Yeah, and it's great. It's a fantastic collection about Round Baby. It's poetry. It's a I don't know if it's chapbook. Chapbook sounds less like, you just need to dig into poetry more. If you haven't, you should. So that's great. And then I think a couple good novels this year and memoirs. Breast and Eggs, which is a Japanese novel.
Mm-hmm.
That was delightful. Several people gave me new poems, books, some spiritual books like Carol Houselander
Mm-hmm.
and her essential writings.
Shout out to the sailors. Shout out to the house.
Yes, actually, Elise Barrett.
At least Barrett. Sorry,
Sailor.
I said the same. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. And
Right.
also, I have to grab this. The last piece that was really, really great for me, did I? No, I didn't. Was I read a lot of Joan Didion while working on my MFA, which we all know that's about a sad, well, we being he and I and people who know me well,
Mm-hmm.
reading about death and cancer
Yeah.
and burial and green burial and basic
A lot of
doom.
death books around the house during that time.
Yeah, she wrote, one of my favorite podcasters, Nora McInerney, lost
Mm-hmm.
a baby, her
Mhm.
husband, and her father in a few weeks in 2014.
Yeah.
And Joan Didion lost her daughter and her husband in a
Right.
short period. So she wrote the very famous, well-known book about losing her husband, A Year of Magical Thinking. And I read that during my MFA, and this year I read Blue Nights. And there's just, I want to share a few passages because they're fitting to this year.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Share those passages.
All right.
Blue Nights.
Blue
Joan
Nights.
Didion.
Joe Didion. About losing her daughter, but also about memory and about how memory works against us, because all of this year was like, we all have griefs. And, yeah, and in a fight against toxic positivity, let's just acknowledge them. However, we have some weird stuff in our head. Like, for instance, when she tells herself, do not whine, do not complain, work harder, spend more time alone. That's like, she dug a hole into my brain. But this one, more importantly, memory fades, memory adjusts, memory conforms to what we think we remember. And I have a feeling this year is going to be like that. And then when people are really prescriptive to you, and that's annoying, and you say, and she writes, you have wonderful memories, people said later, as if memories were solace. Memories are not. Memories are by definition of times past, things gone. Memories of the Westlake uniforms in the closet, the faded and cracked photographs, the invitations to the weddings of the people who are no longer married, the mass cards and the funerals of people whose faces you no longer remember, Memories are what you no longer want to remember. And then this passage was particularly poignant for me this year. Vanish. Pass into nothingness. The Keats line that frightened her, she's speaking of her daughter. Fade as the blue nights fade. Go as the brightness goes. Go back into the blue. I myself placed her ashes into the wall. I myself saw the cathedral doors lock at 6. I know what it is I am now experiencing. I know what the frailty is. I know what the fear is. The fear is not for what is lost. What is lost is already in the wall. What is lost is already behind locked doors. The fear is for what will still be lost. You may see nothing still to be lost, yet there is no day in her life on which I do not see her. A lot of us lost a lot this year, maybe a whole year of seeing our kids or grandkids.
Yeah.
Just depends.
Baby, I will hold you through all this dissonance. And baby, we will find peace in these troubled times, troubled times. We grieve this violence. It happens all the time. We cry, Jesus, come and save us. Spirit, make the change. So many times before, it's not time to close the door on love. I know it's been said so many times before, but it's not time to close the door on love is the answer. Love is the answer. I know it's been said so many times before, but it's not time to close the door on. It's been said so many times before, it's not time to close the door. Well, maybe it's been said so many times before, it's not time to close the door on love.
Peace and hope and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Glad to see you all watching and chiming in. I greatly enjoyed those Saturday night live streams too, and being able to play music, but also just connecting with you folks. That was highlight. When we're not talking highlights now, we're talking about some of the things we missed. Right? Is that what we're doing right now? What were
Yeah,
we doing?
actually. Well, I went in the wrong direction.
You didn't go in the wrong direction. You went in the right direction.
I followed the spirit.
Well, that's what we're doing here tonight. Yeah, I mean, you know, we have like an outline, but come on, like you got to flow with what is happening. So,
Oh yeah, that's what it is on the flow.
well, you know.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about the things we missed, or you want to read the poem?
I read the poem.
All right. So who's this poem by?
Edgar B. Strange. No, I'm sorry.
Fake news. Who is it by?
Wendell Berry.
Wendell Berry.
Because when
National treasure.
when are you gonna fail? Seriously.
National treasure. Wendell.
I
Berry.
do wish that I had met him face to face.
He's still alive.
I know. He's a national treasure, and it's COVID here.
Yeah.
I've had opportunities. He's exchanged letters to me.
Yeah.
Someday I'm gonna send him some sort of weepy thank you.
By the way, Wendell Berry, he writes back.
Oh, he's
If
amazing.
you write him, it's incredible.
And he said lunch and dinner. And
Yeah.
treated cheap with so many people we know.
It's pretty cool.
Mhm.
So read Wendell Berry.
Well, I
What-
did the peace thing
What draws you
and the
to?
help thing, and you have the love thing.
What?
This is the poem.
Okay.
It's about peace. It actually stands at 19 from one of his poems.
Okay.
Peace. May he waken. I can read. I'm gonna start that again. Peace. May he waken. Not too late from his wrath to find his window still clear and its wall in the world there. Within things there is peace. And at the end of the things, it is the mind turned away from the world that turns against it. The armed presidents stand on deadly islands in the air, overshadowing the crops. Peace. Let men who cannot be brothers to themselves be brothers to mulleins and daisies that have learned to live on the earth. Let them understand the pride of sycamores and thrushes that receive the light gladly and do not think to illuminate themselves. Let them know that the foxes and the owls are joyous in their lives, and the gaiety is praise to the heavens, and they do not raven with their minds. In the night the devourer, and in the morning all things find the light a comfort. Peace. The earth turns against all living in the end, and when mind has not outraged itself against its nature, they die and become the place they lived in. Peace to the bones that walk in the sun toward death, for they will come to it soon enough. Let the phoebes return in spring and build their nest of moss, and the porch rectors. And in autumn let them depart. Let the garden be planted, and let the frost come. Peace to the porch and the garden. Peace to the man in the window.
Who's standing by the peaceful waters, standing by the peaceful waters. Oh, oh. So we missed during this year.
A lot of things. We'll travel.
Yeah, we missed travel. We were supposed to travel.
Sports ball for your mom.
Yeah, I mean,
Actual fans in actual soccer fields.
yeah.
You and music.
Well, concerts, like being able to go see concerts live. But some of the live streams were pretty great.
I really
Jason
appreciate-
Isbell and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Amanda Shires and well, Josh Ritter was the real king of that.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed out on the Indigo Girls. I had something that night almost every week.
Right. So like what should I miss?
Besides kids.
Yeah, we were like getting to see our grandson like several days of the week before COVID happened, and it was like awesome.
Everyone should be a grandparent.
I recommend becoming a grandparent.
Highly recommended. It's good for the soul. Remember where we were 2 years ago?
Yeah.
2?
2 years ago,
When Nashville was still
we were in Nashville.
young and not bombed.
We were in Nashville, and we were seeing John Prine.
You know what we didn't miss this year was my niece singing
We did.
in Nashville.
We got to see.
about what 3-4 weeks before.
Yes,
had
we
to go
did.
to
We
one.
did get to go to Nashville. That was like some of those last things we got to do,
Yeah,
where it was like, and we got to see her in her senior
First night
performance.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was great. We got to
She's
see
amazing.
family, and yeah. So shout out to Jessica, and we know we have a connection in Nashville through her and through Summerbelt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go see Summerbelt if you're in Nashville.
So love to Nashville.
But 2 years ago was maybe one of the greatest concerts ever. Thank
And
you,
one of
Jeff
the-
and Natalie,
and
the performers.
and one of the greatest New Year's Eves ever. It was John Prine, Nathaniel Rateliff, and the Night Sweats, and Iris DeMent. So you know what I really, really miss from this year was we lost a lot of musicians. I mean, we lost so many people, and we lost John Prine to COVID, and it just ain't right. We were standing by the peaceful waters, standing by the peaceful waters. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, oh, I, oh, I, oh. So we saw John for the first time. My brother and sister-in-law, Jeff and Nat, had seen John Prine many times. And they told us when he plays Lake Marie, something happens. And it's hard to explain what happens. But it happened. It's probably my memory among so many from that night. So in a tiny way, I hope we can bring a little bit of that, whatever. So help us, John. Well, many years ago, along the Illinois-Wisconsin border, there was this Indian tribe. They found 2 babies in the woods, white babies. One of them was named Elizabeth. She was the fairer of the 2, while the smaller and more fragile one was named Marie. Now, having never seen white girls before and living on the 2 lakes known as the Twin Lakes, they named the larger and more beautiful lake, Lake Elizabeth. And thus, the smaller lake that was hidden from the highway became known forever as Lake Marie. We were standing by the peaceful waters, standing by the peaceful waters. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, oh, I, oh, I, oh. Now, many years later, I found myself talking to this girl who was standing there with her back turned to Lake Marie. The wind was blowing especially through her hair. And there was 4 Italian sausages cooking on the outdoor grill. And they was sizzling. Many years later, we found ourselves in Canada, trying to save our marriage and perhaps catch a few fish, whichever came first. And that night she fell asleep in my arms, humming the tune to Louie Louie. Ah, baby, we gotta go now. We were standing by the peaceful waters, standing by the peaceful waters. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, oh, I, oh, I, oh. Now the dogs were barking and the cars were parking and the loan sharks were sharking. The narcs were narking. Practically everyone was there. In the forest, in the parking lot, by the forest preserve, the police had found 2 bodies. Nay, naked bodies. Their faces had been horribly disfigured by some sharp object. Saw it on the news, the TV news, in a black and white video. Do you know what blood looks like in a black and white video? Shadows! Shadows! That's what it looks like. And all the love we shared between her and me was slammed up against the banks of old Lake Marie. We were standing by the peaceful waters, standing by the peaceful waters. Oh, I, oh, I, oh, oh, I, oh, I, oh, oh, I, oh, I, oh. That's John Prine. Memory eternal.
Memory eternal.
Whew.
It's been a year.
It has been a year.
I'm drinking a mimosa right now.
We made some delicious mimosa tonight.
We did a couple things.
How was the sparkling wine that I got you?
Yeah, so I finished the corn, jackfruit, and cabbage. Welcome to vegan life.
We did have that. It was
beef
delicious.
And cabbage. We
have a
Vassalopeda cake.
ready to.
Right, it's
go.
olive oil, orange, rosemary, because I always have to add the extra
And there's a
ingredient
Always-
with lucky coins,
there's a lucky coin in there. Whoever gets
highly
the coin.
disinfected.
I mean, we're just only us are eating it, so.
Yeah,
I mean, the
well,
coin.
I mean-
The coin though touched other people's hands.
Right, it's disinfected. And I might have followed the 2020 year suggestion that you should just slap a lot of those coins in there because we need more good luck.
Did you put a bunch of coins in the Vassalopeda?
Not gonna lie.
Oh.
But I also put pomegranates in my mimosa because they are part of good luck. And at midnight you're supposed to throw all your doors.
This is an Irish thing.
Truth. They throw it in. They throw them open.
All the doors and like
In
windows.
Great Britain, they just do the back door first, and then they go to everything else. So you let the bad year out and the new year back in.
Yeah.
But in Ireland, it's a little more freeform.
Yeah, it's
If-
a little thinner.
If the interwebs teach me right. I mean, I haven't been there, so
I mean,
like, you know.
did that end up? I mean, is that the reason why maybe like it came to the United States to where like what we would do was open the doors at midnight and you bang pans, like
Banging pans is scaring off the evil.
scaring off the evil spirit. Well, we're gonna bang on that pan all day, all night.
I have a feeling our neighbors will set off fireworks. It's been that kind of year.
There's always fireworks around here, around these parts. I don't know if any of you else of you live in the Ville or Ville's like the Ville, but yeah, there's like fireworks. It's like, hey, what is it? It's October 14th. Why is someone firing off fireworks?
Somebody's birthday somewhere.
Because it's the Ville. It's the Ville.
Apparently, this is all the way through New York City, so I don't know what other people's experiences. But you, this is Quarantina.
It is Quarantina. So Amy asked though, does Mom know there's a coin in the cake? There's usually an ingredient in the things that we make here that Mom.
You'll see this later at the
You
end.
see this
We had a
later.
review of
Please
her.
stick around for this is the bonus footage that we're gonna have at the
My
end.
mother-in-law has always been one of those people I aspire to be. But to be truthful, since she moved in with us a couple of years ago, she is even more, she's proven herself more amazing than ever.
Yeah.
And I'm probably embarrassing her, but literally, she has eaten spicy.
Spice.
Tiamat.
Well, yeah, and you're gonna
and
find out about that
spicy.
later.
Yeah. All kinds of
Blaine's
things.
saying say that again. I don't know if she was saying like say the thing like that there's fireworks for like random stuff or whether it's something about the Vasilopito, but please let us know what we needed to say again. Maybe something didn't come through. But yeah, this was my quarantine year. So of the things I lost this year was being able to I did get to play a few socially distant shows like in the summer.
True. When
Like
the
Toxic
numbers were
Root,
down,
and the numbers were down. I played a few like
the one in Illinois was
Illinois,
fantastic.
like some good like socially distant shows. I got to play a handful, but it was nothing like I'm used to playing. And actually, we were supposed to be in Europe this year and travel, and of course, then COVID happened. And but instead, so we sat here, and my drummer Matt. And he wrote me and said, "Oh, Blaine, bang on the pans all night to keep the craziness away." Say that again. Yes. We gotta keep that craziness away this year. Bye. What did you not understand? The bye. So, but Matt, my drummer and studio wizard, and just fantastic guy. He texted me and said, he said, "Hey, you have any songs you need drums on board?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, we can throw something together." So we made a record. My band and I, totally distance. We made a record on an iPad that I sent to Matt, and Matt did his stuff, and they sent to Paul, and Paul did his stuff, Paul Myrie. And we made a record called My Quarantina. I'm going to just play the song from it. There we go. It's a dance tune. It's a party tune. It's as party as I get.
You played too much on this old
I
house.
know. It's like this. Say with the storm brewing up outside. All the people they don't run and hide. And all the animals we stay inside. But my baby, we do alright if the lights go out. We got the generator in our house. We turn it on and we twist and shout. Woo! Alright. Come on, my quarantina. It's like this. Say with the storm brewing up outside, the pandemic, animals are running high. But we the people, we all stay inside. But me and my baby, we do alright if the lights go out. Got the generator in our house. She turns me on and we twist and shout. Woo! Alright. Come on. My quarantina. Woo! Yeah. Mask up. Social distance. Yeah. My quarantina. My quarantina. My quarantina. My.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, Trudy says, memory. This record release at Backstep and socially distanced dancing in the street. We did that!
For reals.
All outside. Y'all, that's probably the first time there was like unauthorized dancing in the street outside Backstep on Green Street. I'm glad to have brought that to this town.
Somehow far less scandalous than unauthorized street dancing at Taylor University.
Well, no one said you can't perform for us.
Right. Okay, so your best music of the year.
Oh, best music of the year. So, I'll tell you what, this was actually a great year for music. Even though, like, I didn't get to go see shows, I give the award this year, the music award, to Bandcamp. Bandcamp.
They make the most beautiful
See-
music. It's
see, this-
gorgeous. You should listen to it. It's ethereal.
When you
It's like
when-
Arvo Part meets, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar. It's amazing.
That's not true. It's you need to Google that stuff. I'm just keeping this family friendly, but like Bandcamp is a music service, but it is artist based, and I've put my music on Bandcamp for years. And this year, like especially during extreme lockdown, like I would get up and I would just search what is Bandcamp's new releases, like what are they recommending today? And
He put on pants first.
sometimes.
Carry on.
Yeah.
How did you work?
But I found a lot of great music this year, but I'm also going to prop my
I feel like I need to be like
my friends,
the Vanna.
my friends. So the Corrupting Sea, Jason Lamoureux put out like these, and not only is this great music, it's ambient music, but it's like so gorgeous, and so I want to really prop these like. And Jason's rep music in the Corrupting Sea made two of my top 10 records of the year was Tears and Soulmate. Puts out a lot of music and it's good. And then but I think the band that was really the early discovery. This album's not from this year. This Scottish band Rest is
It was my
band.
mental health album.
It was like the mental health album of the year. So seriously, go listen to this band. Rest, Coward of Us All is a good entry point. Their new record, A World Left Unspoken, is excellent too. But for real, like this is a great Scottish band and it's good mental health music.
Because I was diving into Frightened Rabbit maybe a little too deeply.
That happens,
Oh,
right?
down that- oh.
Yeah, you don't want to
But
do that
rest
this
is
year.
like the good place to go.
Yeah.
And just balance your world a little.
Right.
Yeah.
Bill Maloney, who is an American treasure,
Yeah.
continues to put out great music, and he put out a great double album this year, and so and the artwork is so cool on it.
It is.
Like it's got all kinds of cool stuff in it. So those are some props for like independent music. It was a good year for independent music. Obviously, like Sturgill Simpson in the middle of the year just like put out these two bluegrass records that are incredible, and then Jason Isbell had a new record. There's a lot of good stuff that came out. When I was trying to think about like my favorite song or album of the year, this year was not only just for independent music, but it was a year of like for me like not just female artists, but like actually like
Really female artist.
I didn't say that.
You said not just. I'm sorry. I'm an English teacher. Writer. Go on. Sorry. Derailed
This
him.
happens all the time.
He's having a deep, cogent thought.
I'm saying like that we've had plenty of like female folk artists and even rock artists and things like that and country in our rotation a lot.
You know what there's a shortage of is pop female artists.
I found a lot of as far as independent pop goes, it was a good year.
It was, actually.
It was like a really good year, and so the early front runner for me for album of the year was Cha Cha Palace by Angelica Garcia, and I'm gonna promote that a lot. But I decided that the song of the year for me and album of the year was from a band that I had not heard of before 2020. So I can look at 2020 and say I had learned who Vita and the Wolf is, WOOLF. And Jennifer Pegg is the writer of Vita and the Wolf, and just a cool artist from Pennsylvania. Lives in LA now though, and she put out the album that I liked the most of all things. Mainly, I think it was also the year. I needed an album that made me feel good and feel like transport me into a different world for a while, and it did that. So at different times, which was what she said she wanted to do, was make a concept album, and so I'm always into that. But this is my best attempt at covering my favorite, what I would call my favorite song of the year, a year that was filled with great songs. So you can la la la. You can be the start, it can be the order. Abandoned malls and the ghosts that haunt them. Buy me a swimming pool, I knew you were a fool, I just borrow. And I guess I'll stay, I'll stand here. I am here in my own, all alone. And it's here in my own, all alone. It's okay, take my hand, it's easy. This mom died in the 1980s. Here in my home, alone. And I'll read magazines, you will watch the TV, but we'll watch it burn and turn them all off. So I guess I'll stay, I'll stand here. I'm here in my home, all alone. And it's here in my home, I'll go home. Take my hand, it's okay, it's easy. This mom died in the 1980s. Here in my home, I'll go home. I am here in my home, all alone. And it's here in my home, I'll go home. Take my hand, it's okay, it's easy. This mom died in the 1980s. Here in my home, I'll go home. I also forgot a shout out to Tomo Nakayama, who made one of the greatest records of the year called Melon Day. And his guts on making really a pop record after, as a folk artist, influenced my Quarantina like a ton. So thanks Tomo. And thanks David Newbold for probably the best Americana rock song I've heard this year, Sin and Redemption. So that was my last props.
I did make that observation that Tomo's Melon Day was like Melon Day and the Infinite Sunshine.
Melon Day and the Infinite Sunshine versus Melancholy and the Infinite. Anyone?
Bueller.
Bueller.
It was. I
Where-
listened to some. And shout out, because
Yeah.
we went to, where did we see Toma the first time?
Oh, with Open for Jim Enoch.
Okay, yeah.
Acoustic, and
It was fantastic.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was so great.
Like,
And
what
then,
a-
but then you've chased that one, and it's just been beautiful.
And then he does this like album that 2020 needed because it, and I loved his guts in it. Like his album release, he just released a video of him dancing to his own record, and it was like when the lockdowns were starting because he was supposed to be touring on it, and so he couldn't even have a band with him. So he just put on a camera and sang while he danced around.
So, is
Yeah.
that where you got the idea to write the lyrics for My Quarantina on paper and throw them off the first night that you released it? You did like
Throw
a
them off?
pre-release. You had the lyrics.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
what I was
yeah,
tossing
yes,
them.
yes.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I got that idea where you just played the song and then you did something to be entertaining.
I didn't realize that. That's
Yeah, I
really
was kind of. I mean, he had cooler production value, but it was still humble. It was like in his house, and he just put up some lights.
cool. Well, you did a sexy, beautiful half job. Half job.
Half job.
That-
Wee, woo, wee, woo.
All right, you have a new song,
Oh, I do.
and I'm
don't I?
excited about it.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just checking the battery level on the specs on the.
You need some love,
No, we're good.
because they got this little pluggy thingy.
So far, we're good. So, yeah, I have a new song I'm going to debut tonight, and I appreciate the opportunity to do that. So this year, some other good news, and it really happened out of nowhere. After My Quarantina release, My Quarantina got noticed by a label over in the UK, over in England, and called Aldora Britain Records, and they're a very. I love working with them because they really care about the music, and they have a lot of artists on there that are they're writing like honest stuff, real stuff.
For the music.
It's for the music. Don't forget. So they put out an anthology of my my music in December, beginning of December, called American Streets, and then I'm gonna do put a new record out with them in the spring. So I've been writing. I want to have all new music, so I've been writing and demoing out, and it's been a while since I've written a bunch of new songs. Tried to write a bunch of new songs. So here's the first shot. You're hearing probably a version that won't even be like the final version. So
This
whatever.
is beautiful, and
It's
and
rare,
consider
whatever.
yourself lucky.
Oh,
It's like finding a four-leaf clover in the middle of winter under snow.
I'm gonna make it more beautiful by tuning it perfectly. You know why we tune? We tune because we care.
True. You know, my dad said one time when he saw Larry Norman who didn't tune, didn't go over well. Just saying.
Larry Norman didn't tune?
Yeah, well,
Is that verifiable? I believe it.
I'm not speaking against my dad.
I'm sorry, I put you in a weird spot there. This song is tentatively called Solomon Built a House.
It's a great song.
Oh, whatever.
It is. I've been listening to it all day. It's great. By all day, I mean just a couple hours.
What?
Huh? What?
I was playing here. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of stone. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of gold. He lives in the stars and in souls. There is a space beyond distraction where ancient spirits wander free. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of stone. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of gold. He lives in space and in souls. Precious stones and money don't impress. Nothing to defend or demand. Nothing but mercy and forgiveness, and the whole cosmos drawn into a lamb. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of stone. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of gold. He lives in hearts and in souls. There is a place beyond distraction, right here, sitting in this pub. The ghosts are wandering all around us. The spirit pointing us to love. For the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of stone. Solomon built a house for the Lord, but the Most High don't live in a house of gold. He lives in the stars. He lives in space. He lives in hearts and in souls. Solomon built a house. That's a brand new song.
It's good news spiritual.
It's a spiritual. Songs to salve and salvation.
Truth.
It's kind of old timey.
It is old timey.
That's all right with me.
I like it.
So you've been writing.
Yeah, thanks. No. It's
You've been,
I'm terrible at self-promotion.
Oh, you know
I mean,
what?
like I've got this book
Then let me. Yeah, you have, this. Let me do this.
I'm working on.
She's a great writer, and people
Working
need
on
to
it.
read her.
Working
What's
on.
the name of your blog? Like if people want to search it right now, because you just put something up for New Year's.
I think it's just Maria Reynolds Weir
Maria Reynolds Weir
at WordPress.
at WordPress. She just put a new post up for.
Which is what I'm going to read for Open the Doors. No, it's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
You might want to reflect upon it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
Throw
been
open the doors.
invited to do some writing for some newspaper stuff, and
Yes. Yes.
you know, people are reading the book, and I have the blog, and poetry gets thrown out there here and again. So short stories get published there, and you know, writer's life. terrible at selling myself.
Well,
Whatever.
do
But
it.
I want to read this because this is, you wrote an excellent reflection on surviving COVID. This one is reaching towards that excellent reflection and towards the new year, this year.
Yes.
When I consider how many Christmases have painted themselves as bright, sugary memories in my mind, I really have had a charmed life. But not all Christmases sparkle. One of the ugliest is an angry green sea with orange limbs and black heads gasping for life while I crumple $30 in the fist I've shoved into a coat pocket. It's the day after Christmas, November 26th, 2004. I'm standing at the front door of my brother's home, stepping out into winter, wondering what right I have to spend that on myself. The giver intended for me to spend it as I intended, on an embossed leather-looking box set of the Two Towers. 15 minutes before, I was pulling on my boots, preparing to wade through waves of dissatisfied people returning their Christmas gifts, when I got the news. In the living room, my brother, father, husband, and other men in my family reclined with their eyes glued to their laptops. Did you hear? I asked. They confirmed the tsunami that struck Indonesia and beyond. It had 10,000 reported casualties. 10,000 people washed into walls of the sea, grasping for their children and their lovers. 2.5 times the casualties of 9/11. I clutched the bills and felt as I had when I was young, watching the destruction of Alderaan in Star Wars. Somewhere far away in the universe there was a disturbance, a world obliterated, thousands of lives silenced in seconds. 15 minutes later, the walk in Walmart felt surreal. The crowd noise silenced everything. I recall listening for my own heartbeat and feeling the radical injustice of fate or nature or God or whatever. I felt a kind of disgust at myself that I would carry on without my purchase of entertainment, while a whole world of Rachels were weeping in great mourning, weeping for their children, their mothers and fathers, because they were no more. If we watched the Two Towers that night, I didn't pay attention. I checked the news. The body count climbed over the weekend, over 100,000 by the night, over 227,000 in total. My life was preserved because I was born in the United States. There are some years that ask questions, wrote Zora Neale Hurston. There are some years that answer. I share my life is fragile because I was born in the United States. The richest country in the world, the country that published Poe's The Mask of the Red Death. You know, I teach that story in high school to high school students every year in American literature. They love the vivid imagery and the macabre Red Death infiltrating the medieval soiree. In 2014, when Ebola swept 6 of Africa's 54 nations, I drew parallels between Ebola and the bubonic plague for my students. That year, an acquaintance in Atlanta expressed outrage the CDC brought Ebola-infected doctors to Emory University. Surely they'd risked American lives. Surely noble doctors could risk their lives on some other soil, the social media post intimated. But how dare we risk American lives to find a cure at the best facility in the United States? This year of our Lord, 2020, Poe's story is as beloved as ever. This year I asked my students about the symbolism of Prince Prospero's moniker and why he chose the wealthy friends to hole up in one of his crenellated abbeys. Do the wealthy really think that they can escape death, I asked. Not that our wealthy all hold up literally, but our presidential leadership team used access to any and every possible treatment at all costs to prove that Americans can buy their way out of death. While millions in poverty struggled to work, feed, and shelter themselves, while vulnerable populations died in disproportionate numbers, while those with addiction overdosed in desperation, while kids and parents struggled to find an equilibrium of connection, emotional health, work, and education, while doctors and nurses nursed themselves to the precipice of exhaustion, while some churches risked the connection community that makes them strong, by going online. While some businesses policed personal behavior, while some demonstrators distanced but showed up, others made the decision that this pestilence would devastate only if we believed it would. This year, the pestilence became the most fatal and hideous when individual liberties, collectively practiced, of course, created chaos. It seems that wealthy nations madden themselves on free markets and free will. They prove that a crenellated abbey cannot keep out even quiet death. For this plague is no virus that makes eyes weep blood and pustules see blood. This virus is subtler. This virus seizes the respiratory system, veins and arteries. It squeezes the life out of them as stealthily as the flu. In the Mask of the Red Death, the plague or something is evil. Sorry to bring up the E word. A word that umbrellas such varied applications that it's found to sound judgy or existential or hyperbolic, if one doesn't subscribe to it. This virus, to be clear, is not the E word. The E word, by the way, is evil. Evil doesn't generally look evil. While we're screaming about evil over there, the evil that threatens has cloaked itself, infiltrated, and run amok. It's the threat we think we can control. It's a force we both believe in and remain skeptical of. What do we call evil with some certainty? Well, we call Hitler, his sycophants, and the Holocaust evil. We call Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge and the murder of Cambodians evil. Stalin's 14 to 20 million dead? That's evil. Mosquitoes? Evil. Psychopaths? Evil. Serial rapists? Evil. Known evils. After that, we have lesser evils about which we disagree. This year's pandemic demonstrated that our lesser evils are individualized and polarized. One person's evil is another person's freedom. I don't wear a mask. Freedom. You don't wear a mask. Evil. I travel for mental health and can't give up a year or I'll regret it. Freedom. You travel. Evil. I'm going to say this pandemic polarized further what was already divided. I have relationships so strained in my life, I'm not sure that they will ever recover. They'll work up and then seize up. Work, seize, and one of us will die. Not unlike how the virus wreaks havoc in some. I'm not here to say whose side is freedom and whose evil. Some of the things labeled evil no longer seem so evil to me. Another Christian will probably kick me out of the Abbey for that view. Some years ask questions. After 2004 tsunami, my questions included, is God the ultimate maestro? Is there a God? Do I have to resign myself to unknowns? Can I live that way? Some years answer. In 2020, my questions include, do humans know how to make wisdom out of knowledge? Could we ever be selfless enough to save the race? Is there such a thing as a good humanism? Are we really progressing? I don't remember what answers I walked away with in 2004, except I had a lifelong battle. I have to live less for myself alone. I have to choose to believe in God. That God chose to believe in humans, even if we are really effing it up. In 2020, the answers are as thin. I don't think we're progressing. I think the same global problems start within individuals, and until we work our own salvations, we cannot save the race entire. I believe there's a God. It's a wonder that God goes on loving bodies and souls in this condition. I'm talking about the condition of dying or being ugly or imperfect. The condition of being unable to love others as we love ourselves. 2020 may be the year that we realize the narcissism that lies within. Then again, we are pretty terrible at saving ourselves. In Ireland, there's a tradition in midnight to open all the doors and windows and let out the old year and the new year in. I'm part Irish. My heritage shows up on my grandmother's nose, which I inherited. My husband is mostly Scotch-Irish. His nose is short and flat too. Our year had its griefs and blessings. He weathered COVID and contentions. We postponed a sabbatical and then a mini sabbatical. We celebrated a milestone anniversary and birthdays without much fanfare. What happened to us sickened me less than what has happened to those people we work with in our vocations. Yet I feel like the doors and windows have started to open. I'm ready to throw up all the sashes and bang the pots and wait. But fortunately, salvation is a work of patience.
So love to all the people out there who have gone with so much this year, especially for who've been on the front lines for among people who are suffering, who have been selfless. Our nurses, doctors, teachers,
HVAC people keeping us house in
absolute
warmth and coolness. Therapists. People getting us groceries.
People's getting us groceries.
And many more.
And many more. People taking care of people at home. I go to the parties, throw my hands in the air. I drink what they pour me, the cups of who cares. Go up in the night skies and up in the clouds. Fly over the houses, I'm looking down, joy to the city, joy to the streets, and joy to you, baby, wherever you sleep tonight, 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 tonight. There's no ghosts in the graveyard. It's not where they live. They float in between us. What is and what if? We cast our own shadows before our own eyes. You don't get them up here though. They don't come up this high. Joy to the city. The parking lot lights. The lion of evening with the rain in its eyes. And joy to the freeway. And joy to the cars. And joy to you, baby, wherever you are tonight, 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 tonight. stumble upon. If I never had met you, then you couldn't have gone. But then I couldn't have met you. We couldn't have been. I guess it all adds up. Joy in the end, joy to the city. The lockdown and all. Lion of evening with a storm in its paw. Joy to the many, joy to the few. Joy to you, baby. Joy to me too. Tonight, 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 tonight. Joy to all of you tonight. Hoping the memory and battery holds out on my iPad. If for some reason it doesn't, we are going to post what I think is probably the most important part of this whole show, which is wisdom from my mother, Connie Weir, that we recorded before. And so
Truth.
we're going to keep rolling here. We're going to leave with a hymn and a prayer and a hope. And then we're going to play, or we were going to play that first.
What?
How are we going to do that?
We were going to do Robbie Burns,
We were going to do Robbie Burns.
and then we were going to play it.
Do Robbie Burns.
Yeah.
But if things drop
We had a
out,
wonderful conversation with a wizened individual of this year with perceptions and insights that
Yeah.
are bigger than us.
so if for some reason this drops out, hang in there, and we'll start it again. Is what
Yeah.
I'm saying, because I don't know what's about to happen on my iPad. Because
Go.
well, what am I doing?
Playing Robbie Burns and moving forward so we can get the wisdom.
Oh, Robbie Burns is this.
Yeah.
Blessings to you all. Throw open those doors. Let the new in. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. And surely it'll be pine stopped, and surely I'll be mine. We'll take a cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old inside New Year's Eve show here.
Stuck at home.
Stuck at home. Oh, you messed it up. So, stay on script, Phil. Tell us a little bit about your 2020.
About my 2020. Well, I felt really guilty in 2020 because everybody was trying to keep me safe and mess up their own lives. For me, I appreciate it. I'm glad I'm here where I am. And it's practically been a whole year out of our, and my friends and I that are my age who talk about this, hey, we maybe not had that year to give up, Yeah, I mean, it was hard.
Yeah.
A year that we didn't get to really just interact with our grandkids and hug them and love them and do all this stuff.
Yeah.
But, everybody took good care of me. I was happy and it just, just be glad to see it over. And I've got big plans for when it's over, people. Watch out.
Look out, people.
Just look out.
Yeah.
There's going to be lunch with Mamaw, lunch with Meemaw, at least once a month.
Yes.
This is over.
Perfect.
And it's going to be, my grandkids are going to come and stay for a while, and, in the afternoons. I'm never going to say, oh, I'm not going to go there anymore. I'm going to go any place anybody asks me to go, I'll go. Look out, Jeff and Natalie, I'm going to be coming to your house. So that's my plans for when this is all over, if it ever is. But, you guys have been the people where I live. They've been great to me. I wouldn't have wanted to have been anywhere else then.
So I can recall the night that we knew this pandemic was real, like really real. And we knew it was real, but we knew it was really real.
Yeah.
And I think.
I can remember those times because we had our big trip to Nashville right before that.
Yes.
We were just think about that. It seems like it didn't even happen.
How was that in this year?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And then it was the first year it was just kind of scared. I mean, we didn't know. It'd be okay. And it just got crazier and crazier as the year progressed.
I remember the night was that first of all we found out Tom Hanks had COVID, and then the NBA.
That's what did it. That was one of the first things they took away with my Pacers.
And that was when it's like, all right, this is.
Okay, it's serious now. It just and things like those kind of things that happen, big things like that. You just thought, well, that it really got strange in a hurry. And I've never, like I say, many people my age have never witnessed anything like this in their life at all. And but I think there's lessons. I think we all learn something. We really do. We all learn something. And as far as changing my life, a lot it didn't because I just didn't do anything. Just let people take care of me, and that's kind of the way I spent it. But that's my take on it. I'm glad when it's over.
It did get quieter. I mean, before that, we came over all the time.
That was
The grandson over all the time. Our grandson. Your great.
I got to spend a lot of time with him before this, and Cam too. Every day after school he came, and we kind of had a little routine going, and it was like a plan on,
And all of the big events of your life. So think of this.
big moments in my life. Okay.
Like, how does this fall in the timeline of top 20? Like, does it fall in the timeline of top 20 big events? And you don't have to think necessarily about personal events, but like world events, because
Yeah.
you were born in 1939, right? Did I get that right? Yeah.
So you're like,
Yeah. Thinking about the big events in my life, and yeah. Of course, this has lasted so long. There's never been anything like in my life that's lasted this long. You know, it just didn't. You know, got progressively worse for a while. Now it's looking a little better. But it would be way up there near the top of as far as like the memorable events. Yeah, well, you know, this is not going to be something that we're going to be able to forget, because there's just so much involved in this year, things that we missed. You know, just so much that when kids grow up, you miss those years of months with the little one. It just, you know, they're just things that you didn't get to see. But that's, people will live with that. People that don't have family clothes, they live with that all the time. So, I'm fortunate. I'm a very fortunate person.
How many books did you read?
Ooh, I read a lot of books. Yeah. Oh gosh, I read, yes, because I started out with those pregnant books, and oh my, yeah, I read. Yeah, I read more books this year than I've read forever. Yeah, that's right. And they've all been good too, and something, you know, left something with me, each one of them. So.
did you have a favorite?
Oh gosh, those Brandon books were so good. I'll tell you the ones I'm reading now, and I think about Maria. Is I'm reading the ones about Appalachia and Kentucky in there, and this author just tells their daily routine so like they have to conserve water, you know, and well, when we get done with the dishes, we use this water for something else, and they go out and shoot a squirrel or something for, you know, and go out and forage around for different things to eat. And I thought, oh, Maria would have loved to have lived in this time. She would have flourished. You know, when meal time came, you just had to figure out what it was going to be and maybe go out and get it. And you would have just loved. You would have just flourished. You would have been cooking up some really great meals. I know you would. And so the conserving everything, you know, that was I thought about that when I read these, and it's just so interesting to read how, you know, how they had to do that in those days, and it was just part of their routine. They didn't think anything of it, and I have thought of that with these latest books I've been reading, is that you would have flourished well then.
We'll have fried fiddleheads, sauteed dandelion greens, all in garlic.
Yeah, this author goes into detail about a lot of times about their meals and cooking them, and I just think about that. Something.
Okay, so the books that you really like, the breakdown books, who wrote them and what's some of the titles?
Don't ask me about authors, I don't know.
I'll have to look it up for you.
Yeah, but just some of the titles they were mainly based around the Civil War.
Right.
There was, you know, like some of them were going into the war, and those titles were taking you, and then some of them were coming out of the war, and but they were just all some, you know, just so very good. And elections, they covered that. The women were into the voting movement. They were into that. Two of the women, several of them became doctors, and they went to Ohio school, because it was the only school that would take women college, you know, the college that women could go to. And that was all that was just really interesting. So, she's writing another one, but she got stopped too with the COVID. So she's writing another one. It'll be out whenever she gets it done. So I'm looking forward to that.
Lots of writers talked about having a hard time with them this year.
Yeah.
Stopped with those things.
hers was quite a bit financial too. She really, it financially kind of, she had to change homes and stuff and all of that, and it just kind of, So, but yeah, I read a lot of books, and that's all good. That's all good stuff.
Started some cross stitch.
Yeah, I did a little. I did a little, but
Yeah.
It didn't quite go like I wanted it. I didn't have the patience to. I thought, I don't have to do this. I don't have to do anything.
It's 2020 and I work my jobs.
Yeah, whatever. I don't like doing this anymore. I want.
Yeah, but I will get back to that. I really will.
All right, you promised to ask the hilarious question.
That's a hilarious question.
About the
That's a hilarious food.
The weirdest food.
weirdest food you ate this year in the Weir household.
Let me see. Okay.
And the foraging Weirs.
Yeah, so we had the Korean. Is the Korean had the rice dumplings? And
Yes.
The Korean. We had the Korean. I like that. I like those dumplings.
You had to blow your nose afterwards.
Yeah. That was one dish that when I got done, I thought, boy, my sinuses are just all opened up now.
Yeah.
You're welcome, Gardner Jane.
Yeah. We had Indian. I like the Indian dishes that you make. Let's see. Some of the and I'm used to it now, but I had to get used to the greens that were not like not fresh. Greens that are cooked. I had to get used to those, but I got used to them. You put them in a lot of stuff, and it's good.
Like tonight's pizza.
Yeah.
Grape and spinach.
That's good, yeah. Maybe it's a spinach. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just hadn't had a lot of grape spinach.
Grapes on pizza. Had that
That
tonight.
was good. That was good. It really was. I'm telling you. And
I'm just
that's
doing
it. The things are you eat your dishes, and there's always something kind of surprising in there. But it goes. I mean, it goes. It's well, that should be in there. Yeah. Or if you've got something on this little dish on the side, perfect with this. Yeah. I will kind of test out your dips and sauces before I take a big bite of that. I have learned. That's one thing I have learned.
Yeah. Maybe good, maybe not.
Maybe too hot. That's the whole thing.
There's a.
That's the thing of those. It might be too hot for me. But
So we're looking ahead now to 2021, and I don't know. Give us a word. A word for 2021.
for 2021.
Yes, like just what should
The
we?
word for 2021
I mean,
is just, man, I think what we've all learned is just better. We just freedom and joy and spend time with each other, which seems like that's all we've done, but it hasn't been in a right. It has been good. We've spent a lot of good times together, but it's not been we can't just be relaxed and just come up and give you a hug or the kids, just in a relaxed. I think back about that trip we had, and I think that feeling is not. We haven't had any kind of feeling like that of just like, woo, we can do whatever, we can hug, we can not worry about all this stuff. It's just that would be, like I say, I've got plans, and I'm gonna.
Looking forward to those plans.
Yep, and everybody needs to do that. Get plans and do them.
Perfect.
And not resolutions, because I learned a long time ago never to make resolutions because they never work. So why bother after all these years? I just don't make them. Dad did not want that. This wasn't one of his favorite holidays. He didn't like New Year's and New Year's Eve. Particularly, so we didn't do. We usually did a lot. We didn't do a lot of celebrating. I mean, sometimes we would. We would do cheap.
I remember that.
That wasn't
I remember
kinda
Dad
cheap.
not liking.
Yeah, he didn't.